what I call the social media mindset. And basically what that is positioning yourself to be successful on social media, because just like exercising, getting in the mindset is the best way to be successful. So, businesses suck at social media. And I'm right there with you. We are just horrible at social media. And it's not because what we offer they don't want. It's not because we don't have the ability to use these platforms to be successful. It's just we suck at social media, and it's okay. And the reason that we suck is because as a business, we have goals. We have goals. The first goal in our business is to get more clients or get more customers. If you're a nonprofit or an organization, get more donors. The second goal is to sell more stuff. That's our second goal. And the third goal is to make more money. And that's okay. It is perfectly okay to have these goals in your business, but I want you to know that these goals here do not translate on social media. And that's where the disconnect is. And what we need to do to fix it is we just need to shift our mindset from a business goal mindset to a social media goal mindset. So let's talk about 3 things that we all know about social media. The first thing that we all know is that everyone uses social media. And if you're sitting there, you're thinking, well, my cousin Daryl, he just likes to shoot squirrels and go fishing. He don't use no social media. He don't have the internet. Well, I'm not talking about Daryl. Virtually everybody out there uses social media. Your kids, even your significant others, your parents, whoever, are using social media now. The second thing that we all know is that businesses have had success in the past with using social media. First thing I can think of is if you've ever heard of Dollar Shave Club. It's a company that was virtually unknown. They ran one viral video on social media. You should look it up. And now they are a multi-million-dollar business competing with huge companies like Gillette that have billions of ad dollars to spend. So if we know that everyone uses social media, and we know that there are businesses that have had success using it, then naturally we know that there has to be a way for our business to use social media to be successful. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what you offer, and what you do. And that way is the social media mindset. That is how you're going to take your business 90% of the way to using social media to grow your business. In definition, it's the small changes that make a big difference. That's what the social media mindset is. There's a marketing phrase from a while back that goes, it says, it's the small hinges that swing big doors. So why doesn't it work now for us? It doesn't work now for us because there's some preconceived notions, some preconceived ideas, some falsehoods that we have in our head that we can't be successful on social media. And basically it's excuses that we use from other people that we've heard and from us trying it in the past. So what's the first excuse that we have? My clients aren't on social media. My customers aren't on social media. My donors are not on social media. Well, that's just not true. We already talked about that. Everybody is on social media. Here's just a stat they took off Hootsuite, and that's a scheduling software that we'll talk about in a minute. But 71% of Americans are active on social media. And this isn't just they sign in once a year and they look at some stuff and they get off. No, they are active on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. They're commenting, they're looking at pictures, they're liking, they're sharing. 71%. So if you say that your clients are not on social media, this says that almost 3/4 of them are active on social media. So that can't be true. What's the second thing that we say? I tried it once, but it didn't work. Ben, look, I tried social media once. I posted some stuff. I did it for a week. I tried it once, but it just didn't work. So it must not work, right? Well, I like to think in metaphors, and I think about when I hear this, I think, I went to the gym once, and I didn't lose weight. Sounds pretty silly, right? I went on one date with this girl or this guy, and I proposed, and Ben, it didn't work. They didn't say yes. Naturally, it didn't work because you tried it once. Just like a relationship, just like providing value, you cannot provide it once. You have to be consistent with it, and we'll handle all that in a second. I'll go further on that. And think about this. If you tried it once and it didn't work, maybe you had the wrong message going out to the wrong person at the wrong time and at the wrong place or the wrong platform. The only way that you're going to find the right message to go to the right person at the right time and on the right place is by trial and error, by trying it many, many times. So I tried it once and it just didn't work is just not true. Ben, I just don't have time for social media. I'm so busy in my business, I don't have time. And that's a valid point. I don't have time. We're all small business owners, we're all busy. But if you knew the power that social media could have in growing your business, allowing you to grow, hire somebody to do the stuff that takes up all of your time, then you would find time to work on social media. So how much time do you spend on your own social? Just think about it. If you have a social media platform, how much time do you spend on it per day? On average, 35 minutes per day is spent on Facebook. And that's just one platform. Usually, if you're sitting down and you have Facebook and you have Instagram and you have LinkedIn, what do? You just open Facebook, swipe, look at it a little bit, comment, ha ha ha, wow. And then you open up Instagram and you double click the love on there. And then you open up LinkedIn and you respond to all those, hey, I'd love to work with you. Would you like to buy my product? You respond to all those. 35 minutes per day just on Facebook. So the social media mindset says those aren't true, and this is what we're going to do to change it. So let's talk about the true things that we know about social media. One, you have to be consistent. So like I talked about, you went to the gym one time and it didn't get you any results. If you go to the gym and you talk to a personal trainer and you say, hey, I'm looking to get in shape. Can you help me get healthy and in better shape? He says, yeah. I got 3 things I want to tell you. One, you're going to have to be consistent. That is the key thing. You're going to have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in your posting and in your message. So the second time at the gym, bro, look at these guns, man. No, 2 times is not consistent. The second thing it's going to tell you is that uncomfortable is unavoidable. It is unavoidable. And I'm not talking about sacrificing your morals. I'm not talking about something that would scare you to the point where you're like, I think I need to close the doors because this is making me uncomfortable. What I'm talking about is things like getting in front of a camera. A lot of people get uncomfortable about that because they haven't done it before. The only thing that's going to help with that is trying it and consistency. So those are the things you're going to have to realize, that putting yourself out there on social media can be uncomfortable, but if you think about the end point, you think about the reward, then it's all worth it. And the third thing that trainer is going to tell you, any trainer is going to tell you, is that 90% of success is your mindset, 10% is work. You may have heard this other phrase, 90% preparation, 10% perspiration, right? It's so true. So 90% is the mindset, 10% is the work. And so with social media mindset, I want to take you 90% of the way. So there's some headaches that we have when we use social media. We get on the platform like, all right, great. I know exactly what to do. I'm going to post this. It's going to be awesome. All right, I'm going to say, I'm going to talk to everybody because everybody is my client. Wrong. That's going to create headaches every time. Everybody is not your client. What you have to do to cure that headache is to find your niche. You have to find your niche. Everybody is not your client or your customer. So what is a niche? A niche is defined as the smallest amount of people that bring you the most profit in your business. So in business and in marketing, there's a long-standing principle called the 80-20 principle. And that's 80% of your profits come from 20% of your client base. So if you think about that, really break it down, why am I talking to 80% of my client base when 20% are bringing me the majority of the profit. That is your niche. Your niche is that 20% of people that bring you the most money. And so that is who you're going to tailor your social media messaging to. And we'll talk a little further about that. But you have to focus on that 20%, and the rest of the 80%, if they come to you without you directly talking to them, then that's just a bonus, right? So they have a little exercise right here, and I told you that I was going to have some worksheets for you, a link so you can get those for free. So don't worry about copying this down, just take a look up here. This is what I call the 4-level niche exercise. So it's an inverted triangle, and of course it funnels down to a smaller, more boiled down set right here. And this is how you find who exactly you should be talking to. So let's look at an example. Let's say that you're a realtor, and at the top level, you are talking to buyers and sellers. So you say, I want to get on social media, and I want my messaging to go to buyers and sellers. Well, that's too broad because you have buyers looking at apartments, townhomes. You have buyers that are looking to downsize their home. They're looking smaller. And if you speak to everyone, then you're going to speak to no one. So let's bring that down a little bit. All right, let's go with a little geographic. So buyers and sellers within a 30-mile radius of where I'm at. But that's still too broad. Let's go smaller. Let's look at first-time buyers within a 30-mile radius of where I'm at. That kind of brings it down. So you can talk a lot more things about than you can talk to up there, right? A lot more tailored message. Let's go even smaller. First-time home buyers with a budget of $300,000 within a 30-mile radius. You can create a lot of great content from going from buyers and sellers to first-time home buyers with a $300,000 budget within a 30-mile radius. Like I said a second ago, if you try to talk to everybody, you end up talking to nobody. It's so important that you find that niche to get you 80% of that business growth. Headache number 2. We talked about this. I just don't have time to do social media. Well, the cure is you have to take time to make time, and I want to show you exactly how you can do that to get in that mindset. First thing you do is you gather content. So you don't have time during your day, but you have time to pull out your phone. If you see something interesting, if you make pizzas, you take time, take a picture of a pizza. It's in my phone. It's not going anywhere. Put it in my pocket. The next day, you take a picture of something else. All right, keep that. You sit down on a Sunday. You take an hour to gather that content together, to write out some captions that you think about that are interesting for that picture. You set aside an hour to do it, and then you schedule that content using different softwares. A couple are Hootsuite and Buffer, and I can talk to you about those. I don't want to get too deep into it. But if you do these 3 things, you will find that you have taken the time to make time. It'll make it a lot easier to be successful with your social media. Headache number 3. Nobody is responding. Ben, I am posting all the time, and nobody is responding to my content. The first thing I'll say, you got the right message, going to the right person at the right time, at the right place. If you say, Ben, I got that. I'm doing that, all right? I've researched it. I'm doing it. Well, maybe the cure is to use more you and your rather than me and I. So we've all seen those posts where you go on there and somebody's like, I am so happy that I worked with these clients. They were my favorite clients. That's not benefiting the user on the other side of the computer or the phone. Use more you and your. And we'll give some examples there. Headache number 4. Nobody is contacting me. Ben, I've done everything that you said. I've scheduled the content. It's engaging, but nobody is contacting me. What am I doing wrong? Well, the reason might be is because you are using a hard call to action versus a soft call to action. Now, let's break down what a call to action is. So in sales, if you watch any TV and you see an advertisement, they tell you the features and benefits in 15 seconds. The last 15 seconds is, call now if you want to get this, blah, blah, here's the number. Here's the number again. Call us, call us. That is a hard call to action. And it's worked in the past, but it doesn't work on social media because unlike the hard call to actions on advertisements, we have more than 30 seconds to grow a relationship with a client. So what we want to do is called a soft call to action. Now let's look at an example of a hard call to action. Schwarzenegger here, do it now, what are you waiting for? This is mainly what people see when you post, you know, hey, come into my store. Well, why should I come into my store? Just do it now, because I said so, right? The cure is the Inception approach. So how many people have seen the movie with Leonardo, Inception? Yeah, and basically in that movie, it's all about planting an idea in someone's head so that they thought it was their own idea. And that idea that you plant leads back to what you offer. So the way that you go about this Inception approach is with an if and then statement. And you can say a lot of psychologists will use the term problem, reaction, solution. That's another way of phrasing the same thing. So let's look at the if and then statement or call to action. So if equals the user's problem or their question or their pain point, something that they want to resolve or solve in their life. The and portion is the statement that there is a solution to this. And we'll go through an example actually showing you how to write one up. And the then is offering yourself as the solution by using the you and your, not the me and I. So if and then. Let's look at an example of it. If you're struggling to get more leads, there's the problem right there. There's a pain point that a business might have. And you're interested in learning the best ways to get more leads using social media. So there's the statement that there is a solution. Then you should really consider visiting turnoutmarketing.com. Do you like how I threw in my own call to action there? That's another Inception approach. But if you look at it, is there any me or I in there? Is there any me or I? No. There's if you, and you, then you. People like to hear about themselves, whether they say it or not, because they're going on social media to improve themselves or see their friends or get an answer, and this provides that. If, and, then, and make it all about them. That's what the social media mindset is. Listen, you have the ability and the resources to be successful on social media if you put everything aside with your excuses and your preconceived notions and you say, look, I want to create value for my client or my customer, and I want to position it in a way that they will like it and they will share it and they will engage with me in that way. 90% is the mindset. 10% is the actual work. So like I said before, I have some worksheets for you guys. If you go to turnoutmarketing.com/SMM, it'll have the actual slides there that I used here, so you can look through them again, and then just click the button to get the free worksheets. So we've got the niche worksheet with the inverted triangle and a couple other worksheets, a social media posting checklist worksheet there too. And if you want to contact me directly, then just ben@turnoutmarketing.com, or I'll be at one of the meetings. So thank you guys so much. And I guess we'll go into the question time. Do you guys have any questions?